Hey, Jody. I don't know if anybody else is up or not. I waited a while. I don't know how long I can stay awake. Smoke. Smoke. Yeah, smoke. Hey, Possum. Brandon. Everybody needs somewhere to be, I guess. I need to shave. Lord have mercy. Did anybody else go live? Hey, Hog Leg. And there's the link up there if anybody wants to come up here. There it is again. I think that's it. I don't know if that's it or not. See, somebody see if it works. That link doesn't work. I didn't see anybody. I waited and waited and waited. I don't. There's Jody. Hey,
Howdy.
Jody. Hey, Jody.
Howdy, howdy. I was just showing you your link worked.
Yeah, yeah, it works. Hey, Brian B. David Smith. I got all kind of CBD oil and I got all the medicine and all that stuff. I got emu oil from Australia, and I just got just old legs, man, and old back.
Mm.
I fished Saturday night, and I ain't done nothing since. Trying to just walking on them inclines, trying to come
Mm-hmm.
back up. Ooh, golly. Yeah, I've already had one of those cookies. Magic cookies will help you.
Your chair needs help. It needs a magic cookie.
I ordered that thing. I ordered it here when you said something about it before, and it didn't help it a damn bit.
No, it won't. It's wore out because we get them at work like that.
Kay hollers at me all the time over there. She tries to watch television. I'm in here rocking back and forth. Sit still.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a brand new chair. This is a brand new chair though.
Really?
Yeah, it's a nice office chair, but it sure got a squeak in it.
Yeah. Hmm.
And oh yeah, what you doing over there, Lucky?
Lucky's into something.
Yeah, he got a perch over there with a scratching post on it. He wearing it out.
Yeah. So how you been? I ain't talked to you in a while.
Oh, I've been on almost all the shows. I just hadn't said much. Usually I don't say too much because I hate typing.
Yeah, me too.
And yeah, I've been watching everybody and just around just right here at the house actually.
Mm-hmm.
My garden played out when it turned cool and my okra quit. Man, I was pickling okra like a fool.
Yeah.
I got 18 stalks.
Mm.
That's all. I got 18 stalks of okra.
Yeah.
That ain't many.
Yeah.
And I put up 12 quarts of pickled okra.
Wow, that's a pretty good number.
Yeah, plus two big bags of sliced for frying okra.
Mm-hmm.
And I love fried okra. I love pickled okra.
Where it's breaded and deep fried.
Yeah, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you about right, Brian B. But at least nothing. Yeah, Lucas Oil spray giveaway. I just put 30 weight Pennzoil on it. Hell, but I think I need to soak it.
Mm-hmm.
Just drop it in a vat and get oil. So it's just in one spot, and I can't find that spot that it's quick.
Yeah. I keep watching my poles, make sure I ain't got a fish on.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of that cut lip. I was watching when that fish cut you.
Yeah. I wonder if it knocked me forward and I bit my lip.
I don't know, but you sure had blood on it right there.
Yeah, and that dorsal fin got around my neck, that chest. It
Yeah.
put it put a bruise on it, but as big as my hand.
Yeah, Lord.
That fish really whooped me.
I try not to hold them up like that.
I should have eat that fish. Thought it disrespected me.
And it'll give it a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I smoked some baby back ribs yesterday. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
boy, that thing is good. Fried up some okra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. Pretty good eating.
I've been wanting to have one of them crawfish boils back before Palmetto did his on live, and I still ain't had one yet.
I hadn't eaten any crawfish this year.
Really?
I never did go get any. We usually get some,
Yeah.
but there's a lady from, I don't know where she's from, but she goes every Thursday. When she goes to the coast, goes to, I guess, New Orleans. I really don't know where she goes down there, but she comes back and you give orders. You give her orders,
Mm-hmm.
and she has sometimes a little extra, but
Mm-hmm.
we ordered, I think it was 10 pounds of shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
We ate that twice. Jay and I did. We cooked 5 pounds at a time, and that's kind of like crawfish, not exactly, but
Yeah.
so. But we get, she brings that stuff. It's good and fresh, man. I tell you, we get stuffed crabs,
Mm-hmm.
flounders, red snapper. She has all that.
I never eat any of that.
Well, I think I like flounder better than I do red snapper. I don't know. Hello, Steve Loke. Chris Everett, I spoke to you. I don't know if you heard me or not.
Now
But
anybody else can come on up and I'll step down. Nobody ever comes up if I'm.
wait, there's somebody right there. I missed him. There's Possum.
Yep, there's
What
Possum.
y'all
He's
doing?
fishing.
Oh, we just hanging out.
That's what I'm doing. Trying to feed a bluegill to a flatty.
Yeah. I'm just trying to catch whatever swims up this way.
Well, you've been doing pretty good tonight.
I think I finally figured out their travel route. That's what I try to do, where they swim through to get to something. I think I finally figured it out on their way up to the dam.
Wish our water would come up soon.
Oh man, low water's the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know we ain't in one depot here.
Okay, all right. Hey Joe, the other Saturday night, did I talk to you since then?
I don't think so.
On telephone?
Mm-mm.
Okay, your flathead challenge was Saturday night. All right,
Yeah.
Friday night. we got a hole over there that we catch flatheads in,
Mm-hmm.
and, but that's where I built the 20-foot antenna for myself. But I told Eric Saturday night, I said Friday night he was gonna fish.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, don't go over there Friday night, go somewhere else. So he went somewhere else.
Yeah.
And he caught one flathead weighed 8-10 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Then he had one that he couldn't get the rod out of the rod holder.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And it was strip and drag off of his reel.
Mm-hmm.
And he broke it off. He broke off.
Yeah.
So we go back, and it's a
How do
good
you
place.
gang?
So we go back there Friday, Saturday night. And the river, and the river is, I hadn't seen it this low but one other time
Mm-hmm.
in my life. And they loading barges up in the lake there with elevators. And they loading them, they're supposed to be loading them about 9 feet.
Yeah.
Well, this boat comes out of the lake with 3 barges in a line, loaded to 11 feet deep.
Ooh.
And gets right there in front of us and grounds that boat. Grounds that. You remember all them towboat lights and all?
Mm-hmm.
They sat right. They were pushing. They washed our lines up out of the water with the prop wash.
Wow.
That's how close they. And they ruined our whole. And it took them 5 hours to get and they finally had 3 boats in there pushing and pulling.
Wow.
And they ruined our night.
Oh,
you know.
definitely.
We were just sitting there. Basically, most of the time didn't even have poles in the water
Yeah.
because they washed them up on the bank.
Mm-hmm.
That was so damn disgusting.
I bet. Is that a red Solo cup?
Yeah, I got to have that cup. I can't do it on the floor. Hey, 252 been catching some fish. I've been watching him.
Yep.
Howdy 252. Everyone in chat.
It just hadn't had any big storms go across, David. And a lot of times they pull these reservoirs down to get ready for the winter pool. A lot of out in Missouri, I think, out that way anyway. I don't know about the Tennessee and Ohio. They pull those reservoirs down in the winter, don't they?
Yep.
And they drain that water on out, and they just save enough to generate electricity. And
It's hard to find a boat ramp you can use in the winter around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to get plumb off the boat ramp, back off into it.
Right. Well, that's the reason I bought a 4-wheel drive truck when I bought this Honda this Toyota back in 2013. And,
Yeah.
It's for this time of year, and the boat ramps that we used to use everywhere, all over Arkansas and South Mississippi, and up around Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like it low water. I don't like to walk to the water from the truck though. Man.
Yeah. Oh, I still got plenty of deep water spots, but it's hard to get to it.
Yeah.
I'll run on top of something 1 foot deep trying to get out of the boat ramp.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you'll see the land. It ain't even covered up.
Right. CP caught a nice flathead Friday night.
Did he?
Yeah, and his brother
Yeah.
had one on but it spooled him.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It must have been a good one.
Yeah.
It's still on there. Are you still cooking?
Brian B, you just hope you can do what I can do when you're 75, boy.
Cooking.
You just hope, just pray you can still go at 75.
Yep. Because you do get around good.
I hope that for everybody.
Mm-hmm. You don't seem 75.
Well, just one of those things. if it wasn't for arthritis, hell, I'd be in good shape. I mean,
Yeah.
but old Arthur, he's bad to the bone, boy.
That's what I got. He
Yeah,
don't
this.
care who you are either.
I just took this ace bandage off. I've been wrapping my leg,
Hmm.
and I just took it off and try to relax it a little bit.
Has Possum got a fish or just reeling in? Just
I'm
reeling.
moving chicken baits.
Okay.
My
Yeah,
bluegill's still kicking, so
Yeah. Mhm.
we
I
sent him
don't do
back
that.
out.
I don't do AARP. I don't have much use for them folks.
Yeah.
That's Brian B messing with me.
Since Brian got that job, he ain't much fun anymore, is he? Only in chat, never comes on panel. He's not in chat too much.
Who's that?
Brian B. Ever
Oh yeah,
since he got that job,
yeah. Hey Chucky.
he's a party pooper.
Mhm. Yeah, Chucky got 6 flatheads Thursday night. The biggest one was
Oh,
13
that's
pounds.
great.
Hey Eugene Brooks.
Hattie.
Brian, how that?
Here, kitty.
Hey Brian B. I got to ask you a question. How about not? How about not on here? One of these days, maybe I see you in person. I can ask.
He'll probably be at CatCon if you make it to Louisville.
It's 8 to 9 hours for me.
Boy, I hope to.
KittyCon.
Jody Eugene said
That
hello.
brings the money.
Hi, Eugene. All I said was Heidi. You probably didn't know I was saying it to him.
All right, Chucky.
Is Brandon, you on the boat or you on the bank?
I'm banking it. I'm off tomorrow. I plan on being in the boat, hopefully.
Have y'all started? Y'all ain't started picking yet, have you?
No, sir, but I see it coming to a theater next week.
Is that right? How many machines y'all run?
We got 3 this year.
The ones that make spit the bales out like a grasshopper.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
We lay John Deere eggs.
Yeah. How many acres of cotton y'all got?
Ooh, about 4,000.
Yep. You know they don't hardly raise much cotton down here anymore. All grain.
And it's getting hard to, depending on what way the weather is now.
Yeah. What's cotton selling for a pound right now? You got any idea?
I sure don't. I have not looked at the.
Do they book? They book. I bet they book most of that cotton ahead of time, though, don't
Yeah, they try to.
they? Yeah, if the market allows them to. Well, what's the name of the company?
Mine or
Yeah,
theirs, L&G Farm
L&G. What is
out of
that around
Matthews, Missouri.
Matthews?
Yes, sir.
Is that close to Steele or Hayti?
Yes, we're just a little ways north of Hayti.
Okay. I had a bunch of friends from up in that part. You know, back in the late '50s, hundreds of people from the Boot Hill moved down here to where I live.
Right.
Hundreds of them. Did you know that?
It's a popular little place. I'm telling you.
Well, they Jody got
Jody
another
might be
fish.
on.
Jody got another fish. How'd I enlarge her?
Click on the screen. I think somebody tried to teach me that last night.
Well, I don't know how to do it. Hey Tim, I don't know How do
I'm gonna try StreamYard out tomorrow instead of YouTube.
oh. Now what did I do?
I don't know. You're still there.
And I kill the chat and everything. Let me go back.
No, fish, don't go that way. You're gonna get tangled.
So that is. That's what I now I see how to do it. How about that? You just click on the little picture down at the bottom. It says solo layout.
Where are you ready?
You dig up, you didn't get this one.
78 to 83 pound now.
No.
Big cool. I don't know what break even point is on cotton anymore. I used to keep up with all that, but I don't fool with it anymore. Yeah, I know it, David. I'm terrible when I get the mask need button. I got a story about that, David. I may have told it before, but when I decided I was going back to I was going to start teaching school, I had a teacher's license in 1970, but this was in 1999, and my license had expired. So I had to take a few little old courses to get some kind. They call them hours. I forget what they are, but so I didn't have a computer. So I decided I'd take a computer course in the summertime. And it was a girl, I think she was from India, taught the class. And man, I was clicking buttons and blue screen and that dang. I was getting all them funny writings up there and everything. And she told me that, she said, well, Mr. Adams, I'll tell you, when you learn how to do a computer, you're going to be a whiz on it because you sure don't mind clicking these buttons. About ever, and the class was 5 days long, and I blue screen that my computer about ever twice, 3 times a class, and the class was all day long, from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And so on Wednesday, Thursday, she gave us a project.
Spook.
Yeah, on the spook. And I'm in there trying, it was about 10, 12 of us, and I was in there trying to do a search, and I don't know, that's a nice one, Jody.
He may be. Do you think he's too heavy for fish grips?
I can't see, but his head, you got to put a good head on him.
That's a good 25, I bet.
Anyhow.
I do. It's getting. This is my last clean shirt, dry shirt, and he's already getting wet.
Anyway, Thursday, about dinner time, right before dinner, I was doing that search. And anyway, some sort of way, I killed every computer in the lab. They all went dead. So she couldn't get them to come back online. So she called the server. We got a server here. I don't guess you call it an internet server, Tech Info. She called them. And it just knocked their machine. It didn't knock the link plumb out. The link had disappeared to the lab. They told me it's gonna be 4 or 5 hours before they could get it back up and going. And so she didn't know I did it. And I don't know what I did, but I hit a bad button in there down inside that computer somewhere. And so we had to have she sent us home. And then Friday when we got back, they still hadn't gotten that lab back online. So we had to finish out the 5 days in the elementary computer lab, sitting in them little chairs. Let them kids sit in.
Mine's moving, but I heard a bell.
But
I can't get the lock, but it's 20.50.
I almost hit that on in the head.
Just call him 25.
Absolutely.
3.5 pounds.
He lost a little water getting in the boat. That's a dandy.
That's pretty.
Pretty
He's a
fish.
good sized fish.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good eating right there.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
there go my bluegill again. Come on.
There's a lot of fillets.
I knew I had to move. I guess. It still ain't jingled real hard, but
Okay,
it's
hard leg. Thank you, man.
flopping around.
Brian B, wake up. Or whatever it is you done.
All right, I've caught a 10, a 20, a 23, a 24, a 26, and a 35 here tonight.
Oh, that's good.
Putting them on them.
I don't know what I'm doing here now. Let me go back to where it was. That ain't what I want. That ain't what I want. How come it ain't doing the 3 people like it was?
You have to go to format,
I
layout.
don't see none of that on here.
Might be settings.
I got all kind of pictures of screens to do here. There's one. There's one.
It'd be the
There's
rectangle.
another.
There it is.
Oh, he got
Let's
it.
do it like that. And what's this one over here do? And what? That didn't do nothing.
Nope.
That didn't do nothing.
I don't want to cut no skipjack.
That didn't do nothing. There's one. That looks like the same thing. But that's the one we're going to use. Oh, Lucky, where are you? You get. You get. You get. I don't know, David. He done got the way he don't buck so you can get a shave. Yeah, I know it. I need a shave bad. I meant to shave this season, but I got to watching the football game and got excited there. Ole Miss. And they pulled it out.
Come on, fish.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Lucky got in the way he don't hang around the computer. I don't know what's up with him. He don't get up on that bed anymore. Cats are strange animals. He completely changed his habits. He still sleeps with me, but he don't sit around with me all the time now in here. He's over there on the other side of the bed on the floor. Run up under the bed when I went around there. Well, you caught anything, Brandon?
No, sir. Not tonight.
They lost again, 10? Oh, boy. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. TCU beat them.
Lost.
I know TCU was ahead of them, but I didn't never see the final score. Alabama beat Arkansas. Let's see, LSU. Who did they play? Auburn. They beat Auburn. Yeah, and Georgia.
I only found some more cold.
Georgia got tested pretty good today too. Missouri. Well, Arkansas played Alabama pretty good.
Pardon me.
Yeah, 55-24 TCU. Lord have mercy. If they don't get their act together, it's going to be tough when they come into the SEC. I can tell y'all that. David, when Texas and Oklahoma come in, how many conference games? How many conference games will they play then? 10?
Oh, just right. Yeah.
9? They're going to have to get rid of some of them weak sisters that they play early on. With that many teams in the conference. I guess. I don't know how they'll do it.
Oh, yeah. Ain't no telling what you'll find with this low. Well, I found that 1950s Pepsi Cola can, you know what I mean?
This is 1950.
No, the current for Eddie.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm a little sleepy. I think I'm going to jump off. I might get back on later.
You going to take you a nap?
I'm going to try to, unless I catch a fish.
All right.
That's fog coming in right now, coming across the boat.
Yeah, I see you got that hoodie on. Must be kind of cold.
Yeah. I got a heater on, though.
Oh, okay. You got it on?
Yeah, I got a heater up beside me.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming up.
All righty. See you.
Have a good, Jody.
Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Yeah, I think you're right, Tim. Yeah, I know it. I don't know how many conference games they'll play. I don't even know how many they play now. I think they play, 8 now? They used to play 6.
And
then they went to 8.
Yeah.
Or 7, 8.
Could be like 11.
Adding 2 more teams. I don't know. Added Arkansas and South Carolina, Missouri. Yeah, they added those 3 teams, and I think they went to 8 conference games. And A&M, that's right. Added 4 teams. Now they added 2 more teams. I don't know. Well, I tell you, if they go to that many conference games, it's going to be injuries are going to become very, very important. Because now one of the key players gets hurt and miss a game like New Mexico or something. But now with all these teams, they're going to be missing a conference game. That's going to be rough. I don't know how they're going to do it. Going to make it tough on the coaches because they're going to have a lot of kids prepared for the game.
Got the cold burn. That Williams.
I don't know. It can't come to the end for Arkansas, David. If it does, it'll be the end of Arkansas football. They got to get them Texas boys and Oklahoma boys. And I guess they get a few out of Missouri. They got the quarterback from right here in Mississippi, right across, not but about 20 miles from Ole Miss.
Florida, but yeah.
If we didn't have but one major university in the state, we wouldn't have to go out of state in Mississippi. But we got 3 major universities, and just not enough in-state boys to go around. And you got Southern Miss and Mississippi State and Ole Miss. And then you got Memphis State or University of Memphis right there. It might well be in Mississippi. It ain't 10 miles from the state line. And then Alabama is Tuscaloosa. That ain't far from Mississippi. Yep. You about right, Ken. Louisiana can too now. Don't sell Louisiana short. They play some good football in Louisiana. I was down there in 79 picking cotton and right there at Corpus Christi. In that little old town, Woodboro, I think is the name of the town. Woodville. Man, they had a football stadium that, boy, it was every bit as big as a Division II college. Every bit as big. And on road games, we were there for 2 games in the season. But we didn't go to games, we were in the field there picking cotton, but we ate breakfast there in the little town on the way to the machines every morning. But on the road games, the town closed at dinner time. They closed at dinner time. This building, the store was closed at dinner time. Right after lunch. The little cafes and all at 1:15. The clothing stores, the grocery stores on Friday, they closed the doors. Now on home games, I'm trying to remember. Home games, they closed at 4 o'clock. Yep. At road games, they closed home games, they closed at 4 o'clock because I bought my 2 boys. I was going to buy them a pair of boots, but I decided they cost too much and they're going to outgrow them. So I bought both of them a belt, a cowboy belt, and something else. I can't remember what the other thing was. But they paid me off every Friday evening, and I go to the bank, to the post office, and buy a money order and mail that money home. And that day, I went to the bank and cashed that check, and went to the clothing store, and they were fixing to lock the doors. I mean, in about 15 minutes, so I had to hustle. That's where I got the information about closing at dinner and closing at 4 o'clock. And I said, why y'all closing at 4 o'clock? The football field just right over there. A little town, wasn't about 2,800 people. You know, it wasn't big. All right, Dave. Thank you for coming up, buddy. They said they had to get to the tailgate. Man, we had to get to the tailgate. And sure enough, man. Boy, we was out there picking cotton. They turned those lights on. They had them on. Every light was on them big, tall aluminum poles. It looked like a college stadium lit up over there from where we were out in the country. And then the next Friday night, we were wrapping up our jobs out there. And we cleaned the cotton pickers up, started on Wednesday, the next Wednesday and Thursday. We spent $85, about $85 worth of quarters to wash the machines at the car wash. Because you had to get them inspected before you leave Texas. And they put them up under a big giant tarpaulin and put that, what is it? Something bromide. I can't remember the name of it. They put the canisters, the aerosol cans, the bombs, I guess you call them. They put so many up under there in different spots in case of pink bollworm, and boll weevil. Keep them transporting them across state lines. And then an inspector has to come and he crawls all over the cotton picking, looking for one little piece of cotton. But anyway, he passed us Friday morning. And we loaded the machines on lowboy. And we had 2 pickups down there. We had all of the tools and everything. And we I don't know, it was about dinner time, I guess. Maybe a little after dinner. I guess it was after lunch. Yeah, because we ate lunch there at the lowboy. Anyhow, when we got up to, we got to Houston, went across Beaumont and got to, Lake Charles, I guess. And it's either Lake Charles or Lafayette, we turned due north. And man, the lights in South Louisiana, it's some football fields. And then at about 10:30, the traffic on that highway came to a dead stop. There wasn't no interstate. This was 2-lane highway. Man, I didn't think we was going to ever get to Monroe, Louisiana. I mean, it was traffic going in every direction. Solid. I mean, I don't know how many folks was going to them football games, but it looked like everybody in Louisiana was on the highway. But so Louisiana takes it serious too. But I don't know. That's an interesting fact about, and I can't remember, but it seems to me like 90% of the population of Louisiana lives below I-10. I believe it says 90% of the Louisiana population lives south of I-10. It runs along the southern east to west of Louisiana. It might not be 90, but I think it is. And Google, Tim, look that up if you want to see. Or Hogleg or whoever's in here. And Jody should have stayed up here so we could hear a snoring.
Yeah, at least she was on some fish.
Yeah.
I enjoy listening to you, though.
You know, they interviewed her, and LG Bass interviewed me on that little show they used to have. Have you ever heard that story, Brandon?
I don't guess.
Hey, Buck. Yeah, they interviewed me. They had a show they called, I forget the name of the show, but anyway, they had guests and they'd interviewed them. And so they interviewed me. And you know, Tom was up, and so was Jody, and I was up. There's three of us up there. And me and Tom, we were doing and going along, and all of a sudden I heard something, and Jody was snoring so loud you couldn't even hear Tom talking. I said, Tom. And he said, I hear. And I don't know, I think somebody must have recorded it. But boy, I done put her to sleep. That's a mighty interesting interview when the host goes to sleep while he's talking. She went sound asleep, man.
She fell asleep one night fishing with us, and she woke up to a 40-pounder, I think.
Yeah, she goes to sleep all the time. So far, I ain't never done it, but no
I have
telling.
it in my boat.
I'm subject to, I guess. Yeah, southern part. Yeah, Tim. I can't remember what the percent, but I read an article on it one time. Yeah, already. Yeah, she go to snoring, boy. She can get with the program. Yeah, Brian.
Don't know.
Yeah, the best one though was Mike's Fishing Home. That was when Hogleg had just got his show kicked off. That 1 o'clock show, you know, the boy and old Mike Fishing Home had his show, and everybody was in there, and he shut it down. Well, he passed out while he was talking, and he said, "I got to shut this thing off, man." Well, I reckon he reached the button and passed out, fell out on the floor. So we was all over at Hogleg and had him up on the screen. He was just showing his house. He was laid out in there somewhere. You remember that, Hogleg?
Howdy, Buck.
Yeah, boy. He's too far down in that Budweiser. I don't know how long. It was way, I don't know. Hogleg probably remembers, but I think it was well over an hour before we showed back up. Yeah, we just watched his basement. That's what we did. He went to bed, didn't turn off the stream. I was there. He said, I got sleep. And made all kind of racket.
At least didn't fall out in his head, though.
No,
That'd be terrible. Nobody to help.
I don't know if he slid off the couch or what he did, but he hit that table. I remember making a sound. But
Like old Mike, boy. He's a hoot.
This dadgum chair.
Needs some double D on it.
Yeah, I done put some oil on it, but I can't find it exactly where it's squeaking.
I did a chair like that to one of the big trucks here. It still squeaks.
Yeah,
I must have missed a spot.
yeah, that's hey Mark, listen at that thing. I'm gonna put this. I should have been doing this. I just
Howdy, Mark.
forgot. I put that link up there for. Yeah, that's what he did. Chucky. Yeah, I mean, he didn't get up and walk off. He fell out.
And just couldn't take it no more, huh?
Yeah, somebody said he went to bed and forgot to turn the stream off. He fell out for it. That's what he, yeah.
It happens though.
Yeah, it does. It
I
sure
like to
does.
try. I guess I'm almost country. Wasn't for the lack of trying though.
Y'all ain't caught a fish, huh?
No, sure ain't. My bluegill's still alive out there swimming.
Yeah. Well, look, as the water started cooling off,
Yes, sir.
you ain't checked it to see what it is, have you?
Let's see, what was it? Thursday, not on the thing Thursday. Okay, last week Thursday it was 76 degrees.
And you think it's cooler than that now, huh?
Yes, sir, I do believe. We've
You
had
know,
40-degree nights here, night
yeah.
after night.
You know, back then when y'all were talking about how cold it was up there, it was 99 degrees here that day.
Huh.
Yeah. We didn't get our cool spell didn't hit until what's the day? Saturday. I guess our cool spell hit down here finally about Wednesday. Started cooling off at night. Because all that time y'all were talking about how cool it was at night and you needed a jacket and this, that, and the other. Everybody
Yeah.
that was, I was watering my garden every day.
Yeah, I've been watering my peppers still, but
Well, this is my fall garden, my broccoli and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts and kohlrabi. That, you know, that winter stuff. And,
right.
And I was having, because it's so hot, that stuff I'm trying to wilt down every day. But boy, it's kicking it now with this cool weather. It's likely cool weather.
I do too. It's a lot better than being 110 anyway.
I guarantee you, dear.
Now, once it gets down in the 30s during the daytime, now I'll be griping because I'm cold.
Yeah, that ain't no good. No, that ain't no good. Those the cotton picker you drive, is it got the GPS guidance on it?
Yes, sir.
You just put it on the road and it goes, huh?
Yes, sir, it does. Unless you want to drive it yourself. If you get it in the mud, you know, you're going to have to drive it anyway. But
Thank you, Melissa. Hey, girl.
I hope it ain't as wet as it was last year. I about got one stuck.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe it'll stay dry. I expect they wrapping up the harvest here.
We got some people around here picking or starting to pick, but
Yeah.
it ain't got hot and heavy yet. We got our corn out.
Oh yeah. I reckon probably 90% of the crop's gone here. It's been gone.
Even if it stays dry, we'll still be picking cotton 2 months.
Yeah, you will.
We only had 2 pickers last year. We got a new 690 XP, and we still got our 7760s.
You got 4 now, huh?
Well, we got 3, yes, sir.
Three. How they get across some ground, man?
Yeah, we try to pick at least 100 acres a day.
Yeah.
Howdy, Melissa.
I don't know where they raise it, Tim. I would imagine, I would guess South Texas, but I don't know where they. I would guess they raise it, but it may be a little too hot down there for them. But I don't know where they raise broccoli.
Boy, I like some broccoli. Boy.
Yeah, I like it. I like it and kohlrabi and cauliflower, but I eat all of them raw with ranch dressing.
Right.
Man,
Yeah, I'll eat like that too.
I held up cauliflower on on the live stream last year in here that I grew. That thing was every bit big as a basketball.
Dang.
Yes, sir. It
Hey, that's massive.
was a monster.
Absolutely.
But
It's good for you too, boy. I love having a garden, you know what I mean?
yeah, they I don't plant cabbage. I like cabbage, but I don't plant any because the daggum lupus get on it so bad, and you got to just about have to spray it every other day
Right.
down here. And it's the same way with sweet corn. If we don't get our sweet corn planted 1st of March, it ain't no keeping the earworms out of it.
Put some 7 dust or liquid 7 on
Yeah, I do. I sprayed it as soon as it starts silking. Man, I keep it. But
it.
but
Still
if
can't
you,
get all of them.
well,
They always some.
but see, I don't have much garden, but I always get it planted before it's all raised beds, so I can plant anytime I want, really. And I generally wait on the.
Trying to warm up.
Well, no, I have planted it last week in February,
Huh.
and got every stalk up. Grown in California, Tim. Okay. Well, if they grow it in California, I bet they grow it in Texas too, down in the Rio Grande Valley.
Huh.
They grow a world of onions in South Texas. I know that.
Man, they got the biggest onion and they sweet, boy.
Now, they raise some onions down there.
My old neighbor used to, well, he still drives, but he hauls equipment down there for an auction up here. He'd always
Mm,
bring one of them big old 50-pound bags of onion. I'm talking about big as a softball, boy.
yeah, man. Yes, indeed. Well, Melissa and Hogleg over there, where they raising good onions now in Vidalia.
Boy, I tell you what, I like a red onion. Must have 'em on a burger.
Yeah, I tell you what, I like onion sandwiches, just mayonnaise and salt and pepper. I love
Oh,
onions.
boy, you be like me, you like a mustard and cheese sandwich too, I bet.
No, no. I, I put in much mayonnaise. Now I use mustard, but I don't use it like I don't like it like I do mayonnaise. Those ribs I cooked yesterday, I coated them with mustard and honey before I put the rub on. Let them sit for about 4 hours with mustard and honey on.
Let 'em soak it in, boy.
Hey, Curtis. Yeah, I put it in a bowl and then put it in the microwave and run it about 35 seconds and get it hot and melted
Uh-huh.
and liquefied. You know, that honey, you know how it's kind of stiff. And then it'll pour once you run it in the microwave. Pour like water. And I just pour it all over them and let them sit in it. And then smoke them for 5 hours.
Mm.
And it's about 225, 30 degrees. That's some good stuff.
What'd you say, Jim?
There you
Oh,
go,
really?
bud.
You can put that in your pocket and keep warm in. It won't burn too.
Y'all got a fire going?
Yes, sir. Or Jimmy does, yeah. Hey, yeah, we even got coal on it. That's about the family deal. I got my tripod finally.
Oh, yeah, you got a big fire going down there.
He's staying warm.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't
No,
know how to do cold.
especially cold around the water. That's a different kind of cold there.
Oh yeah, at least it ain't blowing off the water.
Yeah.
We'll try to do some winter camping this year. I don't know how that's gonna turn out, but
It'll be fine as long as you get in the boat.
right.
I wouldn't sit on that bank all winter. I know that.
Have to put a heater in the boat, do you?
Yeah, a fire bucket. That's what I always use. Or propane. I got one of them sunflower propane that screws on the bottom. Yeah.
What are you doing, Cameron? There you go. Being all goofy on me. Put butter.
I put a little Worcestershire sauce
Mm,
on them too, Hogleg.
sounds sure good.
Or soy sauce, either one. Yeah.
Can't believe that bluegill still living.
I know your camera done got out of focus.
It sure is terrible.
On my eyes out. That
I don't know what it's trying to do. Let me hit a button here.
you had it. It went back. But now it's blurry again.
Everybody, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a little better.
Yeah, there you go.
Made to quit all that, man.
I love sitting around the fire drinking moonshine.
Mm. Well, that's about like tequila. Things tend to come off. Oh.
The last fire I sat around, that's what I was doing about 2 years ago. We met. I was on a metal detecting trip up in North Mississippi. My cabin pulled my camper up there. There was 3 of us, and I had a contact up there, and then he had me a quart when I got there, and I bought that quart. And we were sitting around the campfire passing that quart, and then it ended up over by me, and then the rest of them had give up after about 2 little snorts, and that stuff was good. And
It's
I
the best I've ever drank from Pennsylvania, they believe.
had a big old tall Mountain Dew I was using as a chaser. Everything was fine. Man, we sat around there about, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. It was just perfect weather and all. And it got on up to about 11 o'clock. And I said, well, y'all, I'm going to go in and take me a shower. In fact, I had my clean clothes already there and sitting on them in the chair. I said, I'm going to go beyond, take me a shower and go to bed. We got another long day tomorrow. And I stood up. The first time I stood up and took one step and I rolled about 30 feet.
That's
And
a doozy, wasn't it? That's one good
yeah,
step.
oh man, I got up on one knee and I said, man.
It was.
What'd he say?
Yeah, Jimmy asked, what part of Mississippi was you doing that at? Boonville, or what'd you say?
I was back west of Boonville. I was in Marshall County.
He's in Marshall County. Jimmy from Mississippi.
Oh, he is?
Yes, sir.
Where in Mississippi?
Just north of Tupelo.
Baldwin? South Tiller?
South Tiller.
He from South Tiller?
Yeah, he sure is.
Boy, I got a good friend in South Tiller. Ask him if he knows Gary McKissick.
You know Gary McKissick? He said,
Gary be about 72, 73.
You older than me, Jimmy? I think you are about a year anyway. He's about 30 something. I'll be 32 Monday.
Oh well, hell, y'all young
Or,
chicken. I didn't. I
yeah, they call us pups, they say.
pups. Y'all pups. Okay.
We still wet behind the ears and all.
Well, I got a lot of friends in Lee County. I've quail hunted in Lee County a bunch
Uh,
back in the day. I don't, not anymore. But
that's his home county.
yeah, that's right.
Go ahead.
Most of my partners are from Baldwin and Guntown. I mean, Jumpertown.
Never heard Jumper Town.
Oh, that's basketball. All them folks up there play basketball. What Hog Leg say? Oh, Buck. He talking Buck.
Awesome. He got, I don't know, I got my holder and I can't read all the sentences. Gotta be.
South Tillow. Well, it's Sal. It's SALTILL. Oh, Sal Tillow. Sal Tillow.
Know any what? You know any pedagogues?
No.
He said no.
Oh, Lord, Hog Leg. Yeah, I
Hey, we hang out with everybody now. You ain't gotta be old, ain't gotta be young. We just there to.
didn't realize he was that young.
Yeah, I'll be 32 the 10th. I finally bought me a Mad Catz rod, and I hope it gets here before then, because I want to try it out.
I guess so, Tim. Saltillo. Yeah, right up there at Baldwin, they had a historical Civil War battle out there at Bryce's Crossroads. That tank commander, the German tank commander, Rommel, the Desert Fox. That's what they call him. Yeah, the Desert Fox. He came to the United States before World War II and studied the cavalry tactics that Nathan Bedford Forrest used at the Battle of Bryce's Crossroads. He spent 4 or 5 days there in the little town of Baldwin, studying the battle plan that Forrest executed to annihilate a force that was twice as big as his, and he basically annihilated them. In the cavalry, in modern day, the cavalry is the tanks, and that's what Rommel, was the tank commander of the Africa Corps, I think it was called. And he studied that battle. Pretty interesting little side note there.
Yes, where Jimmy thought she's up there metal detecting.
I was.
Oh, he was.
I metal detected that battleground before they made it a
Historical site.
yeah, they don't let you on that anymore, but this is before they did it. And of course it had been picked over, it had been metal detected so much. I think I found one bullet.
Huh. Well, at least you found something though.
Yeah. I got
like
it.
putting hours out here and on the water. It's going to, you don't catch one sometime.
There you go. I put in a million miles to get that one bullet.
Yeah, I won't look for an arrowhead. I'll spend my time watching my pole. But
Yeah.
Jimmy over here, on the other hand, he's an avid rock hunter. You need to check out old Jeffrey Allen. You know, he's all about that. He's a miner and a good person too. I can't get that lucky.
Well, I tell you
He
what,
was down to it one time. He's like, "Looky, there's an arrowhead," and he didn't even see it.
Jimmy comes from a part of the country that lit up with arrowheads.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's
he's done pretty good over there where he lives now in the gumbo.
that's a
Found a
hot
bunch
spot.
of them.
That's a hot spot up there in northeast Mississippi. And Chickasaws must have lost everything.
There's still probably a lot out there nobody's ever found though.
Oh yeah, it sure is.
It's down deep.
You know, you'd be surprised if it's in a field.
Yeah, we sure do turn a lot of dirt.
Yeah, them subsoilers pull it up, and then 1 year it'll be it's in 3 year cycles. 2 years it'll be up where you can find it, and 1 year it'll be down out of the range of the machines. They did a University of Pennsylvania put that gum, I can't remember. I think it was 15. They had 15 transmitters made that were dime size, about the size of a dime or a little bigger.
Yeah.
And they got with this farmer up there. He didn't have no big acres, but he was one of the bigger operators around there. And he had I think it's 7 acres. He had a little small 7-acre field. And they went out there, you know, they were working in conjunction with him and put those 15 transmitters out there all out across that field. And they had a receiver, you know, to pick up the signals, and each one of them had a signature signal, you know, so they, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they could tell which one it was.
All right.
All right, the first year, they went back after he tilled the soil and made the crop and harvested the crop, and before he tilled it, and they went back and they found all 15 of those transmitters. All right, now he worked the field and did everything, you know, getting it ready for the next crop. They did the same thing next year, and they went out and they found, I think it was they found 70% of whatever that is of 15. They found like 14 or 12 or 13 of them, you know.
Right.
The next year they found 3.
Oh hell.
Yeah. I remember that number. The third year they found 3 out of the 15, and then the next year they went back up to the 12 and 14. They never did find all 15 of them, but they were, you know, but every third year they go out there and they find like 5. That goes some sort of way. Yeah, don't ask me how that works now, but
last year I had a good year. That field. This year I found 2.
Yeah, it might turn out good then. Jimmy said he notices a kind of consistency like that.
then what?
A consent. Oh my goodness, that's a good variable, is what I'm saying. He agrees with you.
Okay.
He did good last year, and this year he found 2, and he said about every third teal on it does good.
There you go. I found it out in Medley Technical. Most of the places I hunt are in, well, about 99% of the places I hunt is in either cotton or corn field or soybean field. And ever I have 2 good years, and then I just will sell all my machines that third year, or find a new place to hunt.
Right.
Because
Waiting on the next time.
well, I hunt basically Civil War campsites. And funny thing about the Civil War, if it was a good campsite for the Confederates, it was a good campsite for the Yankees. So you just depend on, you find most of the time the campsites down here, you find Yankee and Southern stuff in the same campsite. Of course, now the Confederates stole about half of the stuff that the Union Army brought to the South. It ended up with the Confederates because they steal it. They'd raid those depots and stuff.
Right.
And
Then they lost it again.
yeah, and but you'll find Confederate buttons and Union buttons in the same laying side by side.
I ain't never done no metal detecting or nothing.
No, it's a great hobby. It's a great hobby. And it'll
I
teach
can only
you.
imagine how many rings you could find around here.
There you go. I don't do any corn hunting, but I found a bunch of old corns, 1800s, out there in those fields, but I don't just go looking for corns. Oh, I have when I was killing time. But I spend all my time in about 4 places.
That sounds like me fishing.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
4 places I at least can get, pull one.
I have a whole lot better luck metal detecting than I do fishing.
Well, I don't get to fish much, but when I do, I try to do my homework. And hell, the river done dropped probably 2 or 3 feet since last Thursday.
Yeah. I hadn't even looked at the gauge.
Oh, we're in the negatives here. It's terrible.
Hey, are y'all behind the levee?
One, yeah, right here in New Manor. Where's my
Is
book?
it how far up does it go? Sykeston or further?
Oh, the levee? Oh, it goes around by East Prairie, and yeah, it goes all the way up to Cairo. That's New Manor.
Let me see what we are here. 8.7. That's about as low as I've ever seen it. Yeah,
I'm
buddy.
not on that yet. I can't say I've seen it this low. I mean, last week when I put my boat in, my trailer went off the end of the ramp.
Right.
I'm glad I didn't pop the tars.
Yeah.
I don't see how they had a catfish tournament today here. Because I know their boats and trailers longer than mine.
Yeah. I've seen it at 8 something before, and it's 8 something now.
Huh.
But Buck, Tim, you don't metal detect anymore? I guarantee you that Florida, I guarantee you they flocking to the beaches in Florida. The metal detector people.
Oh, yeah. Everything done Got moved around.
Yeah, there's people making special trips to Florida now to go dig.
Man,
Oh, okay, Tim. I got you. Yeah, Doug Bottles. I did that with my wife when we first got married. Dadgummit. I had some, of course, I had books on what
It
bottles,
reveals a lot.
books on what bottles were what. But you know the prices they put in there. That's just what somebody might have paid for one. I don't know how accurate it is, but anyway, now they move bottles around pretty good. They sell them. They quite a trade in old bottles now. If I still had them,
Yeah, bottles.
I had 3 bottles of all of them with the blob tops and bubbles in them, and had 3 boxes full. And one day, I had a utility building out there in the backyard, and my father-in-law gave me a 2 horsepower air-cooled boat motor. I forget what they read. My son named that boat motor something. But anyway, he put it on his boat as a kicker motor and for running jugs and stuff out in the river. He used that he loved that little motor. So he stopped by the house one day and he said, "Daddy, did you ever work on I can't remember what he called it." And I said, "Yeah, I put a new spark plug in it and took the carburetor off and cleaned it up good." I said, "It runs good." He said, "Well, I think I'm going to get it and carry it on down to Vicksburg with me." He was living in Vicksburg at the time. We went out there in that utility room and that damn boat motor wasn't there. I said, "Somebody stole that boat motor." And I got to looking around to see what else they got. My bottles were gone. My golf clubs were gone. I said, "Man, somebody," and I went in the house. I said, "Okay, you ain't gonna believe this." I said, "Somebody went out there and stole that boat motor, my golf clubs, bag, a whole set of golf clubs, and all 3 boxes of bottles." She said, "Really?" I said, "Really?" I said, let me call and report it. Call the police. She said, "Don't call the police." I said, "Why?" She said, "I sold all that stuff at that garage sale I had."
Oh man.
I said, "You did what?" She said, "Well, you ain't used those golf clubs in 5 or 6 years, and them bottles, we've had them bottles for 20 years. We done moved them all over to Mississippi." I'll be that gun.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Do all that trouble to keep it, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, and I had some nice old bottles too. I mean, they wasn't 1950. These was 1820 bottles. Some of the first settlers that came into this part of the country. She had sold out. And I said, "Well, how much did you get for them?" She said, $2 a box.
Do what? I'd have died.
Hell, I did. I didn't speak to her. Me or Reed, either one. Reed wouldn't speak to her he wouldn't even call his mama for 2 months. Sold his boat motor. I mean, just cause it hadn't been used, you know. You know how women think.
Oh, I know. Mine puts my stuff, and I gotta ask her, "All right, what'd you do with this?"
Yeah. I got some cutting wheels for my hand grinder.
Yeah.
I bought a little stack of them last year. I don't know, it must be about 4 or 5 of them wheels in there to cut iron with and all. Kay went on a cleanup spree out here in the utility room, and I've been looking for them dadgum things for about 3 weeks now. and I can't find them anywhere. I know they in there somewhere. No need of asking her because she don't know what they were. They was in, still in the little packet.
Did you see one of these packages?
Yeah, man.
It's circle. Yeah.
Yeah, they do, hog leg. Yeah, they'll cut your foot. You ain't careful.
Wish I had one of them old pedal stones like that. Though.
You're exactly right, Tim. Man. And all this stuff I found metal detected. I don't know how many. I wouldn't know what the value of it is. I ain't never even tried to figure it out, but don't none of my family care nothing about none of that stuff. And I hate to give it away, or sell it. But once you sell it, you ain't got it no more.
Right.
And it'd be easy to sell. Wouldn't be no trouble to sell it. But I bet she gives all that stuff away. If something happens to me.
Well, at least you won't get it for $2, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, the women will mess you up if you ain't careful. Sure will.
Yeah, some of them are quite crooked. I can say that.
I think that's about the maddest I've ever been at her, though.
Darn.
I ain't never laid a hand on her, but I could have knocked her out that day.
I know, Grab, that shit so long.
Every time I think about it, I want to go in there and knock her out again. Yeah, Buck, I traded a gallon whiskey crock or whatever you want to call it. I forget it had writing on it. It was pretty valuable for a bowling ball one time. For my wife. I'll be that gun for my wife. And you ever seen a busted open bowling ball?
I don't reckon.
Man, they beautiful inside. We we was over scavenging on the riverbank one day, and my buddy that was with me found a half a bowling ball. Now, how that thing got out there, I'll never know. But he found a half a bowling ball, and that thing was beautiful. And his wife put it in the flower bed. I was over there at the house, and I saw it with that sun hit it. Man, that thing was pretty. And I was set out to get me a bowling ball. Well, we were fishing up at Tunica, Mississippi, camping and fishing, and we were sitting around there, and I had that jug filled up with juice, and we was passing it around. This old boy from Jonesboro, Arkansas, he's gone now. He said, "Where you get that jug, Coach?" And I told him, and he said, "I sure would like to have a jug like that." And I said, right out the clear, I said, "You got a bowling ball?" He said, "At home, I do." I said, "Well, the next time we meet up to fish, you bring that bowling ball, and I'll bring this crock, this jug, and we'll
No
make a
worries,
trade.
Melissa.
And we'll make a trade." And anyway, I traded that. Hey, gig. I traded that gallon jug empty. I emptied it. I traded that gallon jug for a bowling ball. And I like to not never got that thing broke in half. Man, I beat on that thing with a chisel and a hammer. I finally got it broken in half. It's still out there in the flower beds right today.
Well,
You move that thing all over the Delta in two pieces. And they pretty when that sun hits you.
I bet it glistens a little bit.
I didn't realize it's made out of some kind of hard rubber. I mean, a hard plastic or glass or something that shines like glass. I don't know what it's made out of.
You might have one of them old ones that's made out of something different.
Yeah, ain't no telling. But you know, I found a 15-foot and a 13-foot red fur ladders over there one day, float. Made out of fur with the iron bar across under each rung, you know.
Huh.
One of them 15-foot and one of them 13-foot. That's long. And y'all see me coming in with that.
Happy as a possum eating a peach seed, I bet.
I had them things. I had them laid across the front of the boat. It looked like a wing, looked like an airplane. Oh man! Good thing the river was smooth.
Yeah, I haven't seen it this calm in a long time.
But those were some good ladders. Yeah, Tim. I would never thought about it either. I just happened to be there with John Ross. They found one out there on the river, and I thought it was pretty. And so I set out to get me one. Hey, Wabash, Nate.
Howdy, Nate.
Yeah, build up a lot of them in the years.
Yeah, ain't hardly any old times no more.
And so y'all gonna start Monday, huh?
We are on the beans, I know.
Oh, not the cotton. Oh,
No, it might be a little later in the week.
y'all ain't started cutting beans yet?
No, sir.
Really?
Yeah, most are still got their leaves.
Really? Y'all don't defoliate them up there?
Oh no, we don't fry them or put Vermont's on them. Some of them do. We don't.
Okay.
Now we would if we had, we got into a pinch or something, but
Yeah.
they'll be
Right.
done cutting beans before we're done picking cotton.
Well, they've had a good harvest season here after that first rain. All that early variety, they were getting 20% dockage at the elevator. Yeah, it started raining, and as soon as they started cutting, they got in about 3 or 4 days, but then it started setting and raining, and it rained for I don't know 7, 8 days. It stayed wet, and they sprouted in the pods. And some of them was getting 20-24% dockage, but it ain't rained a drop since then. So
I'm glad we ain't had no rice this year, but next year I guarantee you we'll have some. Boy, I don't like that rice.
yeah, I don't know. Let me see if he's over here. Let me get it.
That more last year? Oh. Oh, I bet we got at least 18 beans.
I don't know where he is, Melissa. he went under this bed. That may be where he is. He's trying to take him a nap.
That's pretty cool, Buck. Can't find stuff like that no more.
Yeah. I found a 4-bite cross-cut saw with my metal detector one time. They pretty unusual, a 4-bite.
A full bite, cross-cut saw.
Yeah, most of them 2-bite. But this one was a 4. I don't know how old it was, but laying right beside it, I found a piece of trace chain off of probably a wagon or either a cannon, what you call it, thing they carry the cannons on the wheels.
Yeah.
It got a name anyway. It had U.S. on it. It was a Yankee trace chain. And had U.S. on it. So I don't know whether it belonged to the Army or what, but it was over there in them hills in East Mississippi. But
Still contain that one too, or did that one leave? I said, did that one leave too?
Yeah, the saw did. I still got the chain. My son got the saw and had a man make 2 handles for it, and he got it hanging on the wall at his house.
Yeah, I'd like to have one on the wall.
He lives in a log cabin, a log house. He's over in Arkansas.
Arkansas. Piggott ain't too far away.
No, well, he's at Conway, outside of Conway. He's Jonesboro. I don't know what's about from you. I don't know what 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
Yeah, about 2.5.
Jonesboro is what is Jonesboro? Maybe an hour. Here he is, Melissa. He just came out from under the bed.
Yeah, it's 2 hours from here. It's quicker if you go down and hit Kennett.
Uh-oh.
We used to go to Arkansas and hit Gravels to drink when we was younger.
Yeah.
Hit Dry County, man.
You ever fish the Strawberry River and the Black River up there?
No, I've fished the St. Francis a few times, but I've never fished the Black River.
I fished the St. Francis where it runs in down here at Helena and back up about 15 miles. I fished all of that for flatheads.
Yeah, there's some good flatties in there.
What's that one?
Don't give me the line. I probably drove over the bridge. I don't know what that's called.
Yeah, I had a good friend up there at Pickett, Arkansas. Pickett. Yeah, Pickett. I was asking Danny about last year, and he passed away. I hadn't even heard it. Piggott, Piggott.
Yeah, Piggott. Yeah.
He farmed some on the St. Francis.
They got some deer down there. I can say that. Come on. Take down. Something to pull on. Come on. Let me hear my clicker.
Oh yeah, that's pretty neat, bub. He sounds like the kind of fella needs to come to my house and buy some of the stuff I got. We sold some of this stuff on eBay 3 or 4 years ago that I picked up through the years.
Jimmy says he likes antiques.
Hell, that bottle, y'all talking about that Pepsi bottle. Ooh, that's the 1950s. Hell, I'm older than that Pepsi bottle that y'all picked up out there.
Oh, it was a 1 gallon can. It was Pepsi Cola syrup.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's on my porch. It might be a little rusted and age got a couple of holes in it, but it's a trinket I like.
That's what I ought to do one night is have a show and just sit up here and show some of the stuff I got back here. But that ain't a good idea because the next thing you know,
They'd be
wrong
like, "What are you
people,
looking for?"
yeah, the wrong people will be watching it, and I'll come home one day and everything be gone.
Yeah. Well, around here, if you ain't got her chained down, you liable to miss it.
Yep.
Burned old people.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I know I wasn't wanting to call them that on. Everybody knows what they are.
Yeah, Buck says have an auction.
Just make a killing.
Yeah. Turn it into money and buy some gold with it.
Hey, that's something that don't lose value.
Yeah, I'm a
And it
smart
goes
in.
back to the cowboy days, paper won't be worth nothing.
Yeah, paper ain't worth nothing now.
Nah, I know it.
I went to. I traded with Subway for years, and I get the spicy Italian at $5.68. That was with tax included. And I fell out with them over politics. And I ain't been in there in 2 years since the presidential election or the presidential farce or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I went up there Thursday. I stopped by and said, well, I'm going to break down and go in there and get me a Subway because I love that spicy Italian with all them cold cuts on it. So I went in there and got that thing. That thing was $10.08.
Woo!
Went from $5.68 to $10.08 in 2 years.
Yeah, next year get a gallon of milk probably $10.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, that's
It's
how.
unreal.
Yeah, they probably will, Tim. But look here. I don't know. I'd like to have some. I thought about it for years. I got a Kay and I got a classmate we graduated from high school with. He went to Mississippi State in aeronautical engineering. He wanted to work in the space program. Well, he graduated about 1969, I guess, 1970, and that's when they closed the space program down, had major cutbacks, and quit. They just had major cutbacks. Well, he went into the Air Force. And you got to understand, this boy filthy. folks is filthy rich anyway, but he's still a good guy. And anyway, he went in the Air Force. Had more money than he could light cigars with $50 bill already. But anyway, every check he got, every payday, he bought gold with it. Every payday, he went and bought gold. He was in the Air Force he flew the jets and all that. He was in the Air Force, what is it, 5 years, 6 years when he joined? Or is it 3 years? I don't forget. But anyway, for every paycheck, he bought gold with it. Then he went to work for Braniff Airlines as a pilot for Braniff, flying the commercial planes. And every paycheck, he bought gold. And he was
He
buying.
made out good, I bet.
Yeah, look, he was buying stuff for $100, $200 an ounce. And look at it now. $2,000. I ain't looked lately, but it got I think it hit 2,000 at one time. $2,000 an ounce. And he ain't never sold an ounce. Still got every bit of it.
He just sitting on money.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he got so much money. Anyway, his folks finally passed away, and he had 2 sisters, and they inherited a third, you know, a third of whatever that man had, which was a lot. You know, he had all that, and plus he just had all that money anyway. And he spent 10 or 12 years every paycheck buying gold. Never got married. He finally got married about, almost say 20 years ago. I guess Ned got married, and sadly his wife passed away here a couple, 2 or 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. But you know, he was living off of 2 retirements. One from the Air Force, you know, he could draw a pension, and then one from Braniff Airlines.
Huh.
And then, I mean, heck, he just ain't no telling how much money that boy's got. Yeah, 1650. Right now, 1660. Yeah, I remember. I'm pretty sure it almost hit 2,000. Maybe last year before last, I guess. Year before last, it got up there pretty dang high. Yeah. I got one little small piece of gold that I bought from a coin shop up in New Jersey that I used to plate these buttons I find, these Civil War buttons that are supposed to be gold. I got to use a reverse electrolysis, and I replate them, replate them with gold, with that little piece of gold. It's a little old bitty piece of gold. It ain't big as it's about half big as a dime. No, it ain't even that big. But it'll sure gold up them buttons.
Never heard nothing like that.
Well, electrolysis is what they knock rust off of iron and stuff with. Bolts, nuts and bolts. You can clean them up where they be usable again. And but I built a little small unit here that I use here at the house. It's just a little old tub and a transformer that charges a telephone.
Huh.
It's simple. It's a simple process. And you use baking powder and sea salt in water to make it boil that stuff and clean it up. And then you
So
turn
just
around.
get rid of the tarnish and all that on it then.
No, it won't get the tarnish off, but
Yeah.
it'll get any rusty spots and whatever. But I guess it does. It cleans them up where you can play them.
Hey, at least you didn't skunk.
He got a fish.
He got a goller.
Oh, yeah. There you go, bud.
Anything's better than nothing. I haven't caught a goller here.
A button of gold. All right. I know it cost me $15. That little piece of gold. But it could last forever.
I bet. It don't tend to weather away.
It will, because every time you play a button with it, you taking, a layer of gold off of your gold. This is, I think this is 20, I believe it's 24 karat. I believe it's 18 or 24. It's high quality gold. Lucky, what are you doing over there? I hear you. Looking out the window. Well, y'all, I'm just about fixing to fall out of this chair.
Well, hell, man, go bed. I didn't mean to keep you up.
Yeah, I tell you, somebody else, Buck, that does it. They used to do it. I remember when he used to do it. I saw him. He belonged to that. I forget the name of that association, but Freddie Beck, Outdoor Freddie. You know what I'm talking about, Buck? He used to be into the gold mining, gold search, gold looking, or whatever you want to call it. He used to chase that gold pretty good. I found I panned in California one time when I went out there to see my dad. I got two little flakes. I guess you call them flakes. You can see them. They got them over here in the drawer. The little capsule. They're a little bit of time.
Hey, they like pennies, though. They add up.
Yeah, I think a sluice box and all would be the way to go though, if you was gonna do it.
Right.
You can't. That pan. I mean, boy.
Hey, where you at?
Yeah. Get up here and tell these folks hello. Say, how y'all doing?
Kitty.
Yeah.
No, it's his cat. Jimmy said, "Did you get a bite?" I didn't say, "Oh, did I?" That's usually a good deal.
Lucky boy. That's a pretty cat. Look at them legs, man. He looks just like a tiger.
Well, y'all, I'm gonna hop off here. We're about to pack up. We're gonna call it.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming up, Brandon.
Oh, I appreciate the offer. I ain't lying.
See y'all.
I'm waiting with everybody.
All right. See you, Jimmy.
Night, everybody.
Good night, Possum. And now that was one. I'm gonna hang for just a little bit longer. Anybody wants to come up for a minute or two? Yeah, they did a TV special on Freddie. I don't know how I knew he did it. I don't know if I saw him on some of those podcasts There's a bunch of gold mining podcasts that are on YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube that I used to watch. But I knew he was paying for gold before I ever heard him say anything. I built y'all know what a gold dredge looks like that they use to run those sluice boxes out there in the out west. I built a dredge. It runs off of a 5 horsepower Briggs and Stratton. Man, that thing would suck a hole in that sand 10 feet deep in no time. Hunting rings and watches and earrings and sunglasses and stuff. I found a bunch of stuff with that dredge. Oh boy. Yes, sir, they do. Buck, I sold a collection of fossils, 300 pieces. My wife and I, the Mississippi River is full of that stuff. And right now is a good time to be out there with it down low. You're walking over gravel bars, and the river in spots is full of gravel, and that's where that stuff is, those fossils. But ours don't go back to Megalodon. Let's see, I was about the furthest back I always go is Mastodon. Mastodon, ain't that a big buffalo-like thing, a mastodon? Ain't that the precursor to the buffaloes, a mastodon? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. That's about far back as our stuff goes. Other than you'll find a shark tooth every once in a while, but maybe one every 10 years where I hunted. But we had 300 pieces. Hey, Emily. And I got in touch with a museum up there in Memphis. And they got in touch with me actually. Some fella around put it together and they found out I had a collection. They had contacted me and I told them, yeah, I might be willing to let them have it if they come look at it. And they did. They came down with all the paleontologists. And we had the stuff out on the table on a blanket, and they went through and identified every piece. Well, some of it, the slivers of bones, they couldn't tell what they were, but all the teeth, all the skulls, and the vertebrates, the backbones, and leg bones, and all that. And so I asked them, what was it worth? You know, was I going to get any money out of it? I said, no, we can't pay for it. Whole idea is to donate it. I said, well, there's got to be some way for me to come out of this thing with something if I donate it. And they said, well, what you do is you go and get to a rock show and you get the prices and then you put a price on what we itemize here. And this fella says, one of them says, look, Mr. Adams, are you going to donate these items? And I said, well, I sure want to get rid of them. I'd like for y'all to have them. Or they'll be on display up there, whatever pieces y'all use. And he came out of his briefcase with 2 pieces of paper printed front and back with the prices of the 2 most recent rock shows in the South and what each item brought and what it sold for. And he gave me that price list. And the other fellow didn't even know he had it. So I just took it took the two price lists, and they were pretty close to the same thing. It wasn't $10, $15 difference in none of this stuff. And I itemized everything I had, put a price out beside it, totaled it up, and I ended up making a $1,600 donation to the museum, and it 1,600 came right straight off the top of my taxes the next year. That was pretty neat. Hey, Chris, I thought that was pretty neat. But yeah, I had a camel's tooth in all of that stuff. A camel tooth. Oh Lord, Lucky, that don't sound good, boy. That fur ball, hair ball. But that stuff is that stuff is pretty valuable. I was over there one day and gave a fellow a ride across the channel to an island. He was going hunting. I was fishing, and his boat wouldn't crank. And we was using the same route, and I told him I'm gonna leave about 2:00. He said, "Well, I'll be back if you pick me up." I knew him, and I said, "All right, Puddin', I'll be back here at 2:00 to pick you up, right over here where I dropped you off." So I did, and he come back across there. It was two of them, two men. And they had they had backpacks, and they had a bunch of stuff, and he was carrying a big old white sack, looked like a pillowcase, had it slung over his shoulder. And they got to the boat there and getting in the boat, and I said, "What you got in the sack, man?" He said, "Oh, it ain't nothing." I said, "Puddin', I knew you collected fossils. Hell, everybody knew you collected fossils." I said, "Well, if you're going to ride across this river, you're going to show me what's in that sack." And he said, "Man, yeah, all right, I'll show you." He reached down in that sack, and he came out with a complete bison head with the horns and everything. A complete. Had just 1 or 2 little broken spots off of it. And I said, "Man alive, look at yonder." But yeah, he sold that thing at a rock show for $400. But he went to those rock shows and sold tons of fossils through the years. I guess he still does. Hey, Dan. Where you going, Hooks? 12 hours. You must be going, where in the world? Let's see, did he say where he was going? Well, Virginia to the world famous. Oh, okay. Are you gonna be there with Freddie? He's headed that way again pretty soon, I think. All right, that's great. Boy, I wish I didn't live so far from all that. I'd sure go over there. Oh Lord. Going to the doctor. Oh, Freddie going with you, okay. Well, is it all four of y'all going, Chris, or just you and Freddie? All four, okay. Mm. You got to be able to cast a long ways, Chris. You got to be able to hum it. I don't know how far I can throw one. I don't know if I can reach that ledge out there or not. I really don't know. That Piscofano humming pretty good. And them two 10-foot poles. Okay. Oh, bro. 12 hours. Pulling the boat. Mm-hmm. All right, people. I think I'm fixing to close it down. I appreciate everybody coming up here. But I think I got to go take a nap. At least I know I do. Yep, Tim. Well, I appreciate y'all coming by, and y'all all have a good rest of the night, and I'll see y'all later. Good night, everybody.